Welcome to the Startup Grind.
Hi everybody, I'm Brandon Askew.
And I'm Poni, Askew. And we're street friends.
We're going to start really simple. What is the story? What's your timeline? How did this all come about?
Should I start? Okay, so our company actually was founded on a Twitter handle. We started Twitter back in 2010 and called it Street Grinds. And our main goal initially was to put Hawaii's street food industry on the map because at that time there was a lot of traction going on with street food in San Francisco and in LA and all these places. And we thought, Hawaii's had street food industry for a really, really long time. It's part of our culture and our roots. And so it was important to me to start our company by just simply stating that Hawaii has been doing street food for a really long time. You wanna?
Then what?
Well, actually, it started in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where I met Poni, fell in love, and found my way moving to Hawaii. And then where she picked up. I wanted to add that.
So how does it go from a Twitter handle to this?
Well, after Twitter started to pick up a little bit, we tried the first event on Kapi'olani, and that was more than we could have expected. The attendance was amazing. The food vendors did such a great job. They kept selling out the food all night long. And we thought maybe we should try this again. And we did it the next month. And then we tried it again the next month.
What was really cool about that night, I don't remember because, social media has evolved so much in the last 6 years since we started our Twitter handle, which I don't even look at my Twitter anymore, which is why it's an ever-evolving thing. But we had tweeted that we were going to do an event, call it Eat the Street, out there. It's actually the very first one was on Kapi'olani Boulevard. We had maybe 300 followers on Twitter back then. And about 1,500 people showed up that night. And we were really stoked. We got to see street food industry in Hawaii flourish from that night on. And I don't remember if it was called we had a buzz or we swarmed that night, and it was one of the first times that we swarmed. So 6 years is probably like doggy years now for social media, but that was pretty awesome. What was more awesome, to Brandon's point, is the 12 street food vendors that we started working with must have sold out at least 3 times that night. So for us, it created the foundation of our company's goal and mission, which is to basically provide opportunities to Hawaii's small business industry. And today it's beyond street food vendors.
So there's a lot of people here who are entrepreneurs, small business owners, or want to become. Tell us about some of the resources that were really critical in becoming what you are today.
When I think back to that first maybe 3 to 6 months, probably the biggest resource we had was each other. I mean, we had full-time jobs, but we were also trying to start this event, start this company. And,
I know y'all being sweet and all, but I'm talking about resources serious. Everyone has access to.
We're here for you. Actually, though, didn't you go to the business center as well at the beginning?
That's kind of a good question, right? Because part of the reason why our company, I guess, became really relevant in the street food vendor industry and then now in the small business industry is because at that time, and still even till today, resources are pieced apart. You have one jigsaw puzzle somewhere hiding in Honolulu at this area, or another jigsaw puzzle at this area. And at that time especially, there was no place singularly for us to go to pull together our own resources. But that also meant that all the small business industry people had nowhere to connect their jigsaw pieces to. And so for us, we really pulled initially off of our own, I guess, qualities and skills. Brandon is by trade a programmer. Okay, I'm not a geek. So those things are still foreign to me. And I spent almost 8 years as a district manager with Starbucks. And so business development is part of what being a district manager for a company like Starbucks looks like. And Brandon got to help create all the back end stuff. Through that, though, we started piecing together all these resources that we could start reaching out to people and developing relationships with the HCDA, Hawaii Community Development Authority, or in our industry, getting really or close with the health department and learning all the rules and regulations for people who are aspiring food industry people.
All right, so we're gonna move on to more personal things. People say that to be an entrepreneur, you have to have some level of insanity. What is your insanity?
Well, for me personally, probably never giving up, staying up to the sun rises, and then also reaching out to friends and family and pulling some of their wisdom and applying it to the things that we're doing.
That sounds smart, not insane. How are you absolutely batshit insane?
Yeah, don't let him get away with
Because normal people don't do small business, normal people don't do entrepreneurship. You have to be absolutely crazy to do it.
Yeah, you do. You do. I think what makes us crazy is, all the doors that get closed in your face, or all the times that maybe you don't have the most successful event or activity, looking at that and saying, that's not going to make me quit, right? That's not going to end it. We're going to use that and then learn from it and then grow.
So you're
maybe that's why
delusional.
we're crazy.
So you're
That's
delusional.
why I'm crazy.
All right, that's how you're crazy. How are you crazy?
You know what? We're a family, right? We have kids. We moved back home. I actually met Brandon in Nashville, Tennessee, and I don't know. I think at the age of 30, I was able to own 2 different homes, and one was like 2.5 acres in the middle of Nashville. It was super awesome, and you get caught up with being able to afford things, and you say, hold on a second, Hawaiian Chinese Portuguese girl living in the middle of Nashville, raising her kids, I think I want to go home. And coming home with the kids and having security with our jobs, first and foremost, to walk away from that and say, you know what, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try something different. And we're not going to have a solid income. That's awesome.
I think that counts as insanity.
Yeah, that's,
So off of that,
yeah.
tell me how scary that was. How do you deal with fear that is off the charts?
Like you keep singing that song. I saw the signs that opened up my eyes. My eyes. I mean, seriously, like karaoke. No. Like you really just get in tune with what you're trying to do. Focus in on where you're going, and you find little morsels along the way that keeps that insanity piece that would make any normal person run away from something like this. You like grab the next morsel and go, wow, that was really awesome, and that's why I'm going to keep doing this again tomorrow. And for us, that's success with small businesses.
I think you're right. It was crazy to walk away from, the 40-hour-a-week job. It was, fun, and I love programming, so it was fun to be at work every day and take the challenges of corporate America and create solutions for that. But to walk away from that, and like Poni mentioned, the security that offers, in hindsight, that is really crazy. But at the time, we weren't looking at that going, that's going to stop, the move. We're still going to do it.
So similar to fear. Did you want to answer? Similar to fear. Life happens to everybody. Terrible things happen. Great things happen. We lose people. How do you move on with business when shit happens in life? How do you find ways to, whatever the obstacle is? And sometimes there are really big things happen in people's lives. And we all have parents, siblings, friends, things that we care about, things that go wrong, terribly wrong. And then, you can't just stop. Especially because if you're running a business, you can't rely on that check anymore. How do you push forward?
Yeah,
when
I
things like
mean,
that happen?
you could stop. I mean, we definitely have experienced some crazy stuff through our business career that's personal to us, but you could stop and turn away from it all. I think what kept the engine going, first and foremost, was building a strong team of people. And then secondly, living on a foundation. And so for me, it's not just street grinds. We like to throw great street food festivals. It's street grinds. We're helping to support an industry. And so for me, no matter what's going on in our world, and every day could be considered like chaos and madness, it doesn't matter at the end of the day so much that we just stop everything that's going. The train wreck of the and the aftermath of what happens with everybody else that we've taken a responsibility on, in a sense of we want to make sure street food vendors in Hawaii and small businesses and entrepreneurs are successful. And if we quit, what happens? I mean, we're not the answer to everybody, and we're not the end all for everyone, but we do see that we do make an impact. We work now with over 700 small businesses in Hawaii. And whether it's directly or indirectly, how we've touched them and engaged with them, everything that we decide to do at the end of the day is really how do we continue to support this industry? And through that, that's how we were able to continue to drive forward in the face of the things that we were challenged with.
I think what I also want to add to that would be that we have a purpose. What Poni's talking about is supporting small businesses. I mean, we're entrepreneurs, do or die. And I think that we can relate to that with every other small business out there, which is one of the reasons why we don't give up. Building a team purposely, or even just attracting, the right team is, I think, very important. It definitely helps, support us, which is why, we always are trying to do that.
And one more thing, inspired by the claps over there, and sincerely the community that was built. And for us, the community of Kaka'ako and the community of small businesses that we worked with was like our huge support network. And the importance of finding your community and who can connect with you and what you're doing and what you're going through, whether it's on equal playing field professionally, or if it's just like you guys click, like building that community and not getting so busy as entrepreneurs that we're not getting out there and doing these things was another huge influence for us to survive what we went through.
So I'm going to ask you about some of the most extreme things that have happened, and we're going to try to pull out lessons from that. So the first one is, in all of this, what is the situation that has gotten you the angriest? And you can say broadly, because these are all situations other people have gone through, right? So what is the thing that has made you the angriest, and what are we learning from it?
I can say one thing that would probably push on my buttons. We do our best to be creative and innovative to the solutions, or to the challenges that we face, and so we're proud of what we create. And then to look out there in the industry in Hawaii, and then see somebody else basically create the exact same thing, kind of pushes some of my buttons. That
So
makes
what's
me
the
angry.
lesson there?
Oh, the lesson? Well, while it does push my buttons, it just drives us, or at least drives me to be more creative and to continue and keep pushing forward. I can't dwell and look at whatever somebody else is doing similar to what we're doing. We have to do more and create.
So stay angry so you can keep getting ahead of the game.
I wouldn't say stay angry, but I would use that motivation to continue to create, and don't again dwell that somebody is doing what you're doing or trying to do what you're doing.
You can't get comfortable.
Definitely.
I mean, you can't patent events, and that is the most frustrating thing in the world for us, because while our events have been duplicated a number of times across the island, and even name copying. Um, there's nothing we can do about it but be better and different than everybody else. You know, and again, at the end of the day, for us, we know that our differential is that we are playing a game in this industry to help support an industry. And so, with that separation, we haven't found anybody who's competed with that part of our business yet.
So I know that you guys are a team, but I know what makes him angry is probably not the same thing as what makes you angry. What in all of this has made you the angriest? Circumstances that has made you very, very angry. What did we learn from that?
There's so many things that make me angry daily.
City County of Honolulu.
City County of Honolulu, Health Department, Fire Department. No, you know, you don't make me really angry. My daughter's saying me. We work really hard. We try and be fair as possible to people. Sometimes your customers are your biggest challenge, right? And so our customers, if you're wondering who is your customer, well, our first and foremost customers is the street food industry. So we have 700 entrepreneurs that we work with. And these entrepreneurs sometimes might be challenging. And so you sit here, you go, this is a customer. What are they saying? Remove the emotions from the side, listen to what they're saying, and see what we can do to improve or be better, regardless of what it is that might be the pick of the day annoyance from our customers, which is our street food vendors.
What do we learn from that? What do you learn from those situations of anger?
Every day I just go back to our foundation. I've learned that that's the place that I need to go to regulate where we are, what's our goals, what is it that we're trying to do and accomplish here, and how do we help to better the industry regardless of what's going on.
Next question. What is the funniest or the most unexpected thing that has happened, and what do you learn from that?
Funniest and most unexpected thing? You go first.
So I remember thinking about this question. I'm not sure if it's a funny thing or a weird thing, but we were still both working in corporate America here, and we're just driving home one day thinking about what it could be, what we could do, and in that drive from town to Mililani, there was a lot of ideas that we threw on the wall, and so to me, what's funny or what's weird is that I'd say 80-90% of those things have come true, even though it wasn't thrown up there because that was the plan for us for the next 5 or 6 years. It was just conversation while we were driving, and I think it's funny how things turn out.
So what did you learn from that?
Throw things on the wall. Always take your ideas, speak them into existence, and then give them a chance to flourish.
We drove by the Fisherman's Wharf 4 years ago and said, wouldn't it be cool to do a street food concept here? And the second thing I said was, that's just the craziest thought. Look at that place. Why would they ever want to lease this to us? And so, and here we are today, and that's the craziest thing. I don't know, another crazy thing, we were here just last week, and a lady ran up to me with her cell phone, and she was using like a translator, and she said, I see you on TV. And I said, oh, okay, Japanese tourist. And then she starts jumping for joy, and she starts screaming, I take picture with you. And I thought, oh my God, I would have never expected in a million years that somebody would come all the way from Japan, come to Makers and Tasters, and think that she met a celebrity. I'm just, I smiled. I wish I had a sticker to give her or something. I felt like I needed to give her more than just the photo, but I would have never imagined in a million years that something like that would have happened.
Is there a lesson in that, do you feel?
The lesson, I guess for me, the biggest lesson is that message that I wanted to deliver to the world, that Hawaii's street food scene is prevalent and it exists here. For me, that lesson is that it we actually accomplished that goal. Like somebody all the way from Japan recognized me and wanted to take a picture with me. That means that she knows who Street Grinds is. She knows about the street food scene here. She knows about small Hawaii entrepreneurs, and she's really excited about it. And that's super awesome to me.
To push forward even though you don't know where it's going,
Exactly.
how far the reach is, but you trust that it's going there. It's getting far. Let's see one more. So they say luck is when opportunity meets preparation. What do you feel like are probably the luckiest situations you've ever been in? And I guess the lesson from that would be to be prepared for the opportunity. But tell us about your luckiest situation.
Well, I mean, I definitely feel lucky, that we're able to create these environments, these events, preparing for them, with our business and trying to support the small entrepreneurs here in Hawaii. Results, I think, in people coming out, whether it's by the hundreds or the thousands, they're having a great time. And so that's lucky because now I get to be at a huge party. So, who gets to have these huge parties like that? And it's part of your job. And so I feel lucky.
I mean, I'd like to say that all of this was strategy with Street Grinds. Like 6 years ago, I wrote down on the business plan that we would be at Fisherman's Wharf, we would take over 60,000 square feet, and we would be serving lunch to the community, and this is the business plan, and Yahoo, we made it. I would love to say that that's how it happened, but really and truly at the beginning of the day, like literally the beginning, the very first step that we made as a Twitter handle, I would have never expected for our company to evolve to what it is today. The luck is for us, we were fortunate to be at the right place at the right time doing the right thing. And I can't call that luck. We were probably blessed. Literally in the middle of our awesome Eat the Street, the very first one we had on Kapiolani Boulevard, I was receiving text messages from Kamehameha Schools saying, we want you to bring your event product to Kaka'ako. Are you interested? And I said, let me see how the end of this event goes and then we can talk. I didn't realize at that time 6 years ago that Kaka'ako's vision was what it is today. And so for us, we had the marketing, we had the influence to support small businesses. Like that was kind of lucky. And what we did with that luck afterwards made all the difference in the world. Like that, to go from zero to like Kamehameha School's property and 3 acres and 10,000 attendees and 42 food vendors. I mean, I probably should have ran away. That's the insanity part. Like, what's happening? It was a Twitter handle yesterday, and today it's a street food festival with Kamehameha Schools. And so, for me, if you take the luck, if you can get it, and then you run with it and you do whatever you can to keep that going. And that's really what we did at the end of the day was curveballs in year one was like the Lord. And we had to just keep working through it and understanding. I mean, we were even, seeking out advice from people like, what is happening? This is like a monster and it's grown like 12 arms. And so that's what was lucky for us. And from there, like you take the luck and you run in front of it and don't let it follow you.
I remember we were talking when we were prepping for this event. One of you guys said it, and it was something about like when you catch the tiger by the tail, you don't let it go. I don't remember who said it, but one of you guys did.
I do.
And this was it.
Yeah, this was our tiger, and I'm stoked. Again, it's about the industry, small business in Hawaii. How do we support them? Sometimes it comes as the industry delivers it to us because it's evolving. Street food evolves, small boutiques have evolved out of our businesses, and so, or our efforts. So yeah, that's the tiger, and we're gonna keep on holding on to that tail because for us, we keep on getting to see more small businesses be successful.
So I think that nature is telling me to wrap up because it's getting so dark I can't even see your faces. right now. So I think we're gonna have to wrap this up. But I just wanted to say, and Brandon, you're kind of dark to begin with, so I can see your face anyway. But I just wanted to wrap up really quickly. 2 more questions. Your family, you have 2 children while you're doing this. Do they want to come up here?
She does.
She's been itching to come up the whole
She's
time.
like, I think our chicken wants to come up too. Oh my gosh.
We also have a pet chicken.
We have a pet chicken.
A resident chicken at Makers and Tasters that's like right in the middle of the aisle.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. She knows it. Oh yeah. Oh, there she goes. I love chickens, y'all. I live in Nashville.
How do you manage all of it? When you have kids and you're a husband and wife team and you see each other all day, every day.
Yeah, so to add to the insanity, our kids are homeschooled. And yeah. So, but, and that kind of helps us to manage it though, quite honestly. And they're learning about being entrepreneurs and business owners. Do you want to tell them about your business that you did last week? Okay, what's the name of your business?
Sugar Jones Sweet and Treats.
Sugar Jones Sweets and Treats. And so last week they did brownies and brownie sundaes and had to learn about investors and paying them back and that sort of thing. So that's how we manage it. We include them in on our business and hopefully let them learn from a young age what being an entrepreneur looks like.
So wrapping up, what do you think makes or breaks a company? What is your words of advice for people who are here trying to start their own thing or in the middle of doing their thing?
Well, being an entrepreneur, everybody here is here for that reason, I hope. Passion. You know, you have to love what you're doing. That goes back to the point about us being crazy and how do you keep moving forward. It's because of the passion. So that's probably number one. Be passionate for what you're doing. But also, too, be prepared and seek advice and help because we can't do it on our own. And that's probably one thing that we learned is that, you know, you need help, you need assistance. So search it out, talk to your friends or other entrepreneurs. That's what I would describe.
Words of advice?
Oh, words of
Break a
advice.
company?
You know what? I mean, make or break the company. We had to stop at some point and come up with a business plan. And part of that business plan is your marketing plan. Part of that business plan is networking and figuring out who you're going to be connecting yourself to. I'm like the world's shyest person, seriously. So like saying networking is a big deal for me because like I have like palpitations and everything. I was having them today. But these things, a plan is what's made or has not made the food vendors that we're working with today. We have maintained a network of 700 entrepreneurs for the last 3 years, which means that the turnover is high, right? We should be like at 1,400, right? If they keep growing and adding, that we should have duplicated so much more. And what we've seen over the years is that you have an idea and you just go for it. And that's awesome. You need that to be an entrepreneur. But having an idea with a plan is what makes you different from the rest.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have
Thank
fun.
you.
Get the party started.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.